All right, so check it out. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I just wanted to talk to you real quick about self-connection, connecting with yourself and the benefits of it. So recently I've been doing some thinking on the topic of dopamine detox. And as we all probably know by now, maybe you don't, maybe you do, dopamine detox is not a thing. You cannot detox your dopamine. Now, you can do less activities that cause unearned dopamine, right? Or unrewarding dopamine, such as going on your phone, eating a bunch of junk food, playing video games, porn, all that. It brings you no type of actual benefit, but you get rewarded dopamine for it type shit. You can do less of those activities, but you cannot slow down your dopamine system, right? But I've been doing some thinking on dopamine detox and its benefits, and it goes beyond just the idea of less dopamine. I think the whole idea of dopamine detox is good, and the reason why is because it forces you to connect with yourself. You know what I'm saying? We kind of tend to reach out to other things to provide us with enjoyment, whether that's, like I said, scrolling on social media, watching TV, playing video games, smoking, drinking, whatever it is that you're doing. We tend to reach to these other things to find enjoyment or to enjoy our time. And going on a dopamine detox cuts all these outside things. It cuts them out. And we're forced to find enjoyment within ourselves, right? Because the truth is, you don't need a substance, or you don't need content, you don't need to consume in order to be satisfied, other than obviously consuming the food that you need to survive, consuming water, and learning knowledge, right? But other than that, we don't need to consume as much as we do in order to find satisfaction or enjoyment. You can find a lot of satisfaction and enjoyment within yourself. And I think that's what dopamine detox promotes. So it's almost like self-connection under the disguise of a trend, right? And the reason why this is important is because I recently heard when I was watching Demon Slayer, right? This is just the best example I could give you. I was watching Demon Slayer, and the new season just came out, and one of the characters that they followed along in the fourth season is the Mist Hashira. I don't remember his name. I think it's like Muishi, some shit, right? He lost all his memories, right? He dealt with some trauma, and after that, he had amnesia. And his trainer pretty much told him, whenever you regain your memories, whenever you connect with yourself, your strength will come back. You're already strong, but you'll become much stronger, right? So throughout the course of the season, certain things happen, and he ends up getting his memory back, and then you see him just kind of go off. Now he leaves this quote that I wrote down, which I don't remember word for word, but it was something along the lines of, when you connect with yourself, you're able to dig your feet into the ground and attack without hesitation, with ferocity, because there is no questioning. You know who you are. You're unshakable, right? And this goes beyond just Demon Slayer. This goes beyond just television, right? So if you're able to pull lessons from whatever it is that you're doing, it could be talking to anybody, it could be people you like, people you don't like, it could be reading a book, it could be watching TV, playing a game. You can learn from damn near anything. You can pull a lesson from it, right? If you're able to do that, I believe that you have a certain level of power that everybody doesn't. Because anybody else watching that would have just took it at face value. Oh, that's cool, he got stronger, he connected with himself, he has his memories. But you can take that lesson and apply it to your real life. When you connect with yourself, you're given a certain level of confidence. You become unshakable because you know who you are deep down. So regardless of if I approach this woman, ask for her number, and get rejected, I know deep down I'm still a good person, and she didn't reject me, just the image that she had of me, right? Or if I'm going to give a speech and everybody doesn't clap, I know deep down, well, shit, I put in a lot of work in my speech. I got up here in front of a bunch of people and, gave my speech. Therefore, this is an achievement. Their image of me or their view of me doesn't change my view of myself, right? It gives you a certain level of confidence. And you're able to maneuver through life in a much smoother way. Because when you're constantly worried about what he says or she says, what he's thinking, she's thinking, they're thinking, you have this friction in your mind at all times. It pulls away from your ability to focus on what you're trying to achieve, where you're trying to go, because your mind's worried about what other people have in their minds about you, right? Beyond that, when you connect with yourself, you're able to find answers to questions that you haven't even thought of yet. Questions begin to come to your mind and you already have the answers. You begin to trust in yourself. You're able to trust the vision that you have for yourself, the direction that you take yourself. And your trust and confidence in yourself, it oozes from you. And people will begin to have more trust and confidence in you, right? So self-connection is really important. Now, beyond just, influence, beyond just, confidence, self-connection, it almost, how do I explain it? For me, it took away a lot of my stress, right? I was always very worried about how things would play out. I was always worried about the future. I was very worried about what my life was gonna look like or what it used to look like. I was either caught in the past or I was caught in the future. And through taking a lot of time to myself and figuring out who it is that I am, what it is that I want, where it is that I want to go, it's almost like, yeah, I still think about it, but it doesn't stress me. I'm able to carry myself in a different manner. And I feel like it shows in the connections that I'm able to make with others. Ultimately, I feel like, and I'm not urging you necessarily to do a dopamine detox, but I would say go ahead and take some time regularly just for yourself, whether that's taking yourself out with no distractions. We tend to listen to a lot of music while we're just walking around, or we'll listen to podcasts or some sort of content. Just take yourself out. Don't consume anything. Just be present with yourself and your thoughts. One thing that I recently started doing a lot was reading. I feel like reading is a great way to connect with yourself, because while you're reading, you're processing it in your mind and you're forming and creating your own thoughts over the information that you're taking in. Now, I personally prefer to read books that I feel like will benefit me, that will teach me how to maneuver myself in situations to position myself as best as possible. But whatever you read, it doesn't matter, so long as you're taking that time for yourself. Mindfulness meditation is another great thing. Just anything that causes you to be present in the moment. Journaling is great at focusing your attention, aligning your thoughts. Presence. Anything that causes that presence will help you connect with yourself. And I feel like it's important that we connect with ourselves, because we have this idea, or it's like popular belief, that we all need to be our own people. And yet at the same time, our idea of our own people is the same idea that everybody has, right? Oh, I'm gonna dress a certain way that I feel like is my own style. But realistically, you just got the idea to dress a certain way from this and that and there, and you put it together. It's still not your own style. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe that's not a good example. All right, I'm gonna dye my hair teal blue, right? And it makes me different. That doesn't necessarily make you an individual though, right? I feel like it's important that we have our own individual thoughts, because it enforces more, I don't want to say beneficial, but more engaging conversation. You're able to learn from others and not be so stuck in a certain way. We've come to a time where group thought is everywhere. You know, if I don't believe what you believe, then, oh, I don't like you, or you don't like me. Everybody doesn't need to believe the same thing. You need to figure out what your own beliefs, what your own thoughts are, what your own interests are. And from there, you're able to filter information in a way that, yeah, it might not align with your own thoughts, but you're able to see the flaws in your thoughts as well. So maybe I initially thought this, but I spoke to somebody who thought this, and it influenced my thought to be a little bit more here, right? I still believe what I believe, but I also know, okay, well, this is where I can improve my thought, and I'm here now. I know that got a little bit confusing. I might be getting off track here, but my point is, it's important to connect with yourself. It's important to be yourself. You don't necessarily have to worry about what other people say you should be, what you think you should be, or what they think you should be. I mean, you find a lot more enjoyment in your life when you live life for you, as you, right? And that's pretty much all I got today, because I don't want to go in circles and shit. But with all that said, take some time, do some meditation, right? Mindfulness meditation. Do some journaling. I feel like journaling is a really good one. It's one that I've been taking a lot more seriously. I've been taking a lot more seriously lately, because I have a lot of, like, my brain runs very quickly. I have a lot of thoughts that run through my head, and when I'm journaling, I'm just writing as I go. I don't follow any type of structure. I'm not trying to be grammatically correct. I just write. And what it does for me is it aligns my thoughts in a way that I don't have 10 thoughts running at once. Now it's just one single thought process. And then once I finish that, I move on to the next thought. And just get your thoughts out. That's a good one. I like that one a lot. Reading is one that I've picked up recently. I've taken more seriously. Whatever it is for you that you feel like aligns you with yourself, just follow your own interests. Some people like playing music, making music, learning. It's all dependent on what your interests are. Right? Take some time to connect with yourself, even if it's only 15-20 minutes a day. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any thoughts or ideas about it, leave it down below in the comments, and I would love to have a discussion with you about it. You know, I like having engaging conversations. Welcome to the vision. I hope you stick around. You can go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a good day.